Okay, friendlies, we're going to give this one more try. It appears as though my mic did not pick up. So we're going to do a check, make sure that we are... Nothing's changed. So something definitely is crazy here. And we're going to get down to the bottom of it right now. And these things, especially the audio, usually I will open up another tab and check my audio, you know. So, and I had the studio open, and I went to check my audio, and it was just kind of acting a little slow, so I just went ahead and I put it back on mute, and probably should not have done that. So this is when having a phone handy or your iPad handy to check your audio is good. And when you're alone, this is when those double checks really help you out, even though it's a little clumsy. You know, there's even gurus out there that say, you know, so you get on and you're acting all lazy and can you hear me now? And can you hear me now? And, you know, like I said, people need to relax a little bit about some of this and let people come in and accept them for where they're at in the journey here with what they have to work with. So I'm going to go over to the channel and see what in the world, because the audio was really great the other day. So crazy. Okay, so it says I'm live now. So if you hear some feedback, I'm so sorry about that. If you hear feedback. And we're at 50 on the little slider over on OBS. But I would like to settle what it is. Hey, Dana. I know, 47 minutes, Dana. 47 minutes of no audio, Dana. Can you believe it? And man, oh man, was I on fire, too. Told everybody about why they need to use StreamYard. So what are you doing? What are you doing? Well, I will take a couple minutes here then to at least go through just maybe some cliff notes of what we're trying to come to terms with when you are using OBS, and a little backstory about my 18 months of using OBS and how it really kind of set the standard for me to be able to go to Canva, which is where a lot of things happened for me to know more about what was available in the graphic arts for just the pedestrian and the graphic arts. So what you're looking at really here is a full-on kitchen sink, okay? Just like with most of my ideas, this is complete and absolute utter nonsense. But if you don't allow yourself to play with the tools, you really can't, and if I had been on mic, you would have heard this from me, you would not understand the purity of StreamYard, and how important it is for us to go live now. And you really, I understand, no, you know, mommy don't have no time, okay? This is why you need to go to StreamYard and get yourself, especially if you're in an enterprise, get yourself hooked up with a paid account. And just say to yourself, I am going to go live. I'm going to do 100 live recordings before I start to arrive at, you know, more fanciful things and more, especially if you get pulled into people wanting you to use OBS, because there are a lot of rock stars that use OBS. And there are things that you can learn about how scenes and sources are set up, and how the computer and the canvas of a live streamer, how they're thinking, and how they put, air quote, they put their shows together. So this is why I'm kind of doing a kitchen sink recording today using OBS. And so let's kind of go through some of the things that we're looking at here so that you understand the difference between how I build here to how I build over on StreamYard. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to just literally X out of a lot of things here. Okay, you'll notice that I eyeballed out of another frame. You'll see that go away. However, this frame, I'm going to go ahead and X out of my looping Christmas snowflake. Go ahead and X out of the color block. And before I do that, though, because that was the big build today, Beauty be making her own countdown timers the way that she sees time, because we don't need no stinking numbers. We really don't. Let's be fanciful and let's enjoy ourselves. And if you don't come on live after 10 seconds or 30 seconds, then learn, and I hope I can help people with this a little bit more too, is that, just enjoy yourself. So this is a countdown timer. If ever anyone knows me, I take a lot of inspiration from conceptual art that I find. And in this case, these are just rectangular bars that I picked did color picking from the piece of art and set them in a standard that's a second apart. And so the entire loop is like 47 seconds. So clearly it's under 60 seconds. But on OBS, I can make it whatever size I want. It's not taking over the whole picture. And there's the confetti coming down, and we're going to just say, hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? This is BeautyBubble here on YouTube. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And then I can scooch it down in here, and then now it's still on the loop, and now it's in the transparency window. And you're wondering, well, transparency window, what do you mean? What's there? Well, this black area here could be your picture. It could be your camera, actually. So we'll go ahead and take the color block off. We took the overlay off. We're going to go ahead and take the Christmas snowflakes off, which we did before. I have a window capture that's open so that I can open up my chart again if I want to. And then we're going to take the overlay off. Now this overlay is an overlay, and I try all sorts of different overlays built over on Google Slides. And so this is just a crazy juxtaposition of some text and a squiggly line and a picture of a font that I liked that was not inside of the Google Slides font. Made that an image, made it transparent. Took this contact sheet of me on a Japanese fan. I snapped a picture, brought the picture over, and so this whole gobbledygook here is actually created on Google Slides. And I have hundreds of these that I'm constantly playing with and so forth. But the thing that kind of makes this all come alive, and you could do this on StreamYard too, just saying, is then you get to add this overlay. You guys have seen me use this overlay before, so I will take off the Japan overlay so that you can see. So you guys have seen this overlay before. Everything behind this is transparent. So this can be over your full window so that you are in live action full window. This is a punch out for the single broadcaster that was built that I built for my streams over at StreamYard. But you can see this is just an image that I cut and paste and made this what I call the cutouts, and same kind of deal here. You can see the news behind there and the streaming style, and I did this funny little live recording slider over here. And you'll notice over on the right hand side, now we don't see the color block, do we? But there it is right there. Let's say I'm not so happy. I want to have some fun with the color block, because I'm going to take a little bit of an intermission or what have you, and I can move the color block wherever I want. and I can even situate it underneath the punch out that I have, and maybe I size it so it comes inside of the punch out. Now, this is the deal. In the fourth quarter, you don't have any time. Mommy doesn't have any time for this. This is why you need to go over to StreamYard. But what you can have is a vision for your channel as you go forward, as you learn and kind of build up a repertoire of things that you like. And one thing about knowing just the skeletal parts of OBS is that coming over here you can kind of begin to dream and scheme, because any of this can actually be placed over on StreamYard, just so that you know. And so having this kind of freedom, which is even beyond what Canva offers, just lets you kind of let your mind wander. You know, like why would Beauty have a countdown timer? Why would that be necessary? If I am a flower shop, why would that be necessary? Well, it could be a countdown timer used like this, and it might be like how quickly you can make an arrangement, or you're making an arrangement, you know, doesn't matter, every 22 minutes, so you make a countdown timer. Then maybe it would say at the end of it, another beautiful bouquet is on its way to a lovely home, or something like that. And have all sorts of, just let your mind kind of run. And you should know that this is something that you can actually begin that little bit of a journey for yourself if you are just new to live streaming. Let your mind wander, okay? And don't think that your ideas is wacky, right? Super wacky. Like what I'm looking at right now, I could actually build a whole logo over this, take a snippet of it, load it up as my logo over on StreamYard, and now I have something that's beautiful and unique and absolutely, completely mine. And that is just super, super powerful for you guys. Well, I mean, there are certain metrics, and I'm sure that you've heard all sorts of, you know, try it for this long and do it for this long. And the reason that I say that is that by the time it's not like, oh, at 100 I'm going to be this. What you're hoping is that you're leading into that 100, so that when you hit 100, you're completely formed. You know, you have such a sense of what you're doing when you're coming online. You've probably dealt with most of the issues about, you know, whether it's booking guests, certain technical bits aren't in your favor. Like after 100 streams, just like anything else, you know, walking 100 miles or walking 100 times around the block, that by then you would have had the full, you know, the full measure of your interest, you know. So that's kind of why you would do that. And I guess, see, this is the thing about chat, is that you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go over here. Where'd you go? See, this is the internet. This is the internet. It's just crazy. I'm gonna have to write her and ask her where in the world she went. That's nuts. That's some kind of crazy. goodness gracious. Man, the internet, that's so funny. See, there's no way that I can reach her either. So I know that she's probably ran off, because watching chat is another kind of thing as you're walking through an instructional, you know. Mm. Did you come back? That is hysterical. See, that's why you need 100 episodes, okay? Because you got to figure out how to manage that chat. See, this is why StreamYard is just such a delight, because you really don't have to manage the chat, because you can stay in the studio. That's pretty hysterical, though. Oh my goodness gracious. What are you going to do? What in the world are you going to do? Too fun. I know. Did you see how I ran over there, though? I'm that girl that's running down the street trying to wave down the car, you know, like, where are you going? You wait a minute here. I was just like giving you all my good stuff. Well, fortunately, I think this recording will, you can re-listen to it if you would like, but I was covering the 100 episodes. Like, you're not going to be fully formed right now, and so you have to kind of challenge yourself to know what I call it, Dana, is it's this 5-minute rule, and it's not about living your life every 5 minutes. It's being prepared 5 minutes ahead of what it is that your vision is, because once you get there, if you don't do it that way, then you won't realize that you actually got. Yeah, I know. You won't, with my hair on fire too, by the way, you won't realize that you've actually achieved it. And this is an old kind of school idea of how to look at things. So it doesn't matter whether I say it's 100 or you say it's 10, or I say it's 100 and you say, no, Beauty, it's like 20. At 20 episodes, or at 50 episodes, I'm going to have a very good idea. But if we're not working towards that, then even 5 minutes before you get there, you won't even realize that, oof, wow, I did do this. I did actually have this happen for myself. I did in a way not rely on the whims of lack of time, or the whims of lack of creativity, or where am I really going. I didn't ask myself so many simple questions about what I like, and then we let the internet, dictate. And then we start to. It's not that so much that we start to doubt ourselves. We become very disinterested, because we're not living out our vision, So like you saw me build this right tonight. I didn't know that that's what would happen. I have a full logo right now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, I'll snippet it out, and I'm going to put it over at StreamYard, and it will become the new BeautyBubble logo, because I think it's expressive of myself. I had this idea that we don't need no stinking numbers on a countdown clock. Why are we staring at numbers? I had no idea people were that fascinated with numbers. If I had known that, then I I would have come onto YouTube and just yelled out Well, I did yell out numbers, but I mean the countdown numbers, and probably had a really good time. But we don't need no stinking numbers, So that's why I did this animation tonight over on Keynote. So, and then I'm very much involved in color blocking and understanding color. And I get a lot of questions about, like, Beauty, what's this, and you and color, and so forth. It just pleases me. I think there's a lot of information in color. So, yeah. So that's why I did that. And I picked all these colors from that little piece of art there. And I don't know what I'm doing, just so that you know. So I have 100 different animations that I'll have to go through before I will come into that moment where I go, oh, got it now. There we go. I really, really have something that not only can I be proud of, but I know how I got there. It wasn't handed to me. I didn't buy into it. I actually took the time and had a rapport with my own vision. And so that's kind of the way that I'm thinking. And of course, you being in the chat makes it oh so difficult. It makes it really hard when I should have probably just gone on StreamYard and just sent you an invite, and that would have been fun. I could interview you. How fun would that be? That would be unexpected. So, all right, so what we did here was you are looking at the overlay that you've seen me use quite a bit over on Twitch. And here it is on YouTube. And when I go back into the homepage of YouTube, I'm sure that I'll probably see, oh wow, this could be changed, or that was a little off, or it's too much red, or that sort of thing. I can figure that out. I'm going to X out of my Twitter because I'm not running down the street with my hair on fire anymore. I was able to finish that out. Okay, so we're pretty happy with all of this. And so let's go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and mark off the color block, and we're going to open up the Christmas. Now you guys have seen this. I've had this silly thing for a few years now, and what's kind of cool, once again, what you'll see with OBS is how it's nestling underneath. You notice that right there. It's nestling behind. And of course you do that with your sources. So here I have the Christmas source, and I can bring it up, and you'll notice now it's sitting on top, which is an altogether different look. And now I'm more prefer it to be underneath my overlay, and so now it's sitting quietly underneath here. I'll just make it ever so bigger to do that. Okay, so let's say we're going to have a worldwide Christmas show. Relax yourself. And we'll let that kind of sort away. So here we are, and I'm glad. It's part of there. A lot of people are saying one day maybe I should have eventually just kind of write all these things down, and because it seems to work if you look at it that way. Because life is all about preparation, right? And every day we're preparing ourselves for whatever it might be. We're preparing ourselves to, relax tonight. Like, for whatever reason you prepared yourself in order to come on over and spend a couple minutes with me, on YouTube. So it's all about, I had to prepare today to figure out what I this kitchen sink kind of thing, and working on my new microphone, and you have to, in these older tools, you have to go back and you have to make sure that you still remember them, and so forth and so on. So here I am using OBS. But if you go down below, and people that come into the replay, please go down below, because what I'm doing is after 18 months before I discovered StreamYard. And in the early moments when I spoke about StreamYard, the amount of time that it took me to leave OBS was like a nanosecond. Like, bye-bye. I mean, it was literally like that. See you later. Okay, it's been nice knowing you crazy, you crazy scenes and sources, and you don't really like a Mac, and you want me to be on a PC and all this stuff. Like, see ya. So, into the fourth quarter, you want to just do yourself a favor, because I'm sure that you've heard that you need to be going live. Like that, it's a must, and you have to be fearless about it. And the best way, of course, is to be on a tool, using a tool that allows for you to just relax and be you and communicate whatever message it is, whatever thing you have to sell, whatever thing you have to teach, whatever situation with your family members, I mean, it's so important to stay in touch with your family, and it's a beautiful way of recording your family, your family life sessions, and I could go on and on. Okay, but we're talking about OBS because it's so valuable, because it gives you a chance to see how things really are. All right. Okie dokie. But that is the Christmas scene. And I think that that looks pretty cool. And now that we know that my mic works, I'm going to do another mic check before I sign off. There we go. All right. So thank you very much to Miss Dana Bentz of StreamYard and her own life, her own lovely life. And you definitely want to follow Dana on her channel here on YouTube to get your fix on what she is involved in, and a precious, precious soul. So definitely do that. And as I sign off, I want to remind you too that what you must do on the YouTube studio is that you do have to end your recording. You do have to do that eventually. You have to go over there and end your recording, which I will do in just a moment. So, thanks a lot, guys. I will talk to you soon. Remember, I'm still part of the Daryl Eves Challenge 2020, and we'll be looking at doing a production, actual like uploaded video. I may take it from here, though. I may just go ahead and take a snippet from here and do a short or something like that, so I can be counted over at the Daryl Eves Challenge 2020. I'll talk to everyone soon. Bye-bye now. Okie dokes. So we go to OBS, and on the right hand